Welcome to Highland Flats. My name is Todd Hiddle, and I'm the Senior Forestry Manager here. I've been here for 10 years. I got to work with Gary in the early days and kind of developed this whole harvest program. At first, the demand got so high that we had to develop some pretty efficient means of harvest. So we got all these machines and we can handle it now. And this is my crew. I'll let these guys introduce themselves. They make my job pretty easy.
I'm Todd as well. I've been here for 9 years, and it's a great experience to be here. And with all you guys here, especially your first timers that have never been here, so that's a big deal. So it's a lot of fun out here. I'm Ryker. I'm Todd Hiddle's son. I've been here for, I think I've been here for 6 years? 6 years or something like that. So I got to work, I think 1 year or so when Gary was around and meet him and everything. Everything's came a long way since, you know, all the equipment and a lot less chainsawing and hand work and stuff. So it's pretty efficient now. It's good.
Ryker's also our fabricator. He builds all the metal fabrication and everything that we need. Everything we need welded or built or designed. Ryker has that responsibility also.
I'm Jared. I've been here 10 years. I started at the very end of the first winter harvest. I also worked with Gary for quite a few years. When I started, I worked in the distillery, worked out in the field, and now I'm here on this crew. So I've done just about everything on the farm. I drive the truck, operate equipment, and it's been fun.
Yeah, I think that's
probably.
I'm sure.
If you've been here before, you've probably
yeah.
So, get in here.
Oh,
Callie.
hey. I'm Callie Smith. I thought it was going to be like a microphone.
No.
Is this on somebody's phone
Yeah.
connected? Awesome. Okay. I'm Callie Smith. I'm a research scientist for R&D. I work in Utah at GHQ. And I've been here almost 11 years. In February, it'll be 11 years. And winter harvest, this is my second winter harvest. Celebrating with these guys. I love these guys so much. This is like the best place in the world. I do specifications. I help do research on claims. I actually manage Young Living's largest monarch butterfly way stations in Tabiona at the Wildlife Sanctuary. So I got a lot of work to do, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you. I love you guys. You guys are my family, and you're my people, and I'm so grateful to be able to spend this event with you. And yeah, let's have a great day and a great winter harvest.
Can we ask you more about the butterflies later?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Callie's a really hard worker, and we recruited her to come up, and we love having her here, and she's always a lot of help. So we thank her for that,
Thanks,
for coming
Todd.
up to help us.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael and Zabrina and Gabby and all of you guys for having me back. So grateful to be back here. So appreciate it a lot.
Zabrina?
Yeah. Hi. Well, some of you have already met me, but I'm Sabrina Ruggles.
Oh.
I'm the farmland manager here and dog person. I love dogs, so sorry. I'm connected at the hip to dogs. So yeah, I've been here for a little over 4 years now. And so I've manage a lab and do research in tangent with some of the folks from R&D at GHQ and other random things like food stuff and whatever else.
And
needs
the
to-
weigh station.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and the weigh station too. Yeah, we have one here, and so yeah, if you have any questions about the monarch butterfly garden, is what it is, I can answer questions about that as well. So, yeah, thanks for being here.
And we have Mike. We used to bring the horses up from Utah to, I have a mic.
Oh, okay.
We used to bring the horses up from Utah, but we came to the conclusion that it was too much stress and for the travel on the horses. So Mike is an independent contractor that comes and brings the horses and does a great job, and we like Mike. No. We're going to do a, we're going to bring some trees in and we're going to cut them by hand and show you how it used to be for a short period of time. And you guys can load the branches onto the chipper and be part of that process.
Yay.
We'll do that first after you guys get your safety gear on. Wild forest at Young Living. And you see we have some of it planted, some of the fields planted. This part we leave wild. So today we're going to be harvesting grand fir in this wild patch. And this was cut over probably about 35 or 40 years ago. It was cut over pretty hard before we owned the property. So in the meantime, we've been just managing it for smaller trees, for evergreen essence, oil, blend, and our grand fir uses that we need. But today we're going to be going, I went back through and thinned some yesterday with the feller buncher that cuts the trees. And today we're going to be bringing that to the landing. This is called the landing. And we're going to be chipping it, and you'll get to see that whole process and be involved in it. We have this green machine here that actually takes the trees from the woods to the chipper where they're chipped. And everybody will get a ride in and take a turn and ride in that thing. It's a really cool machine. The cab swivels around so you can see behind you. It's the only machine that we have enough room in that we can give rides. So we're glad to offer that opportunity for you guys. And Mike will be dragging trees with the horses, so we'll be doing that at the same time. And I'll also be taking hikes out this way with part of you, so you can learn about forest management out here and what we're doing. Because some of this is managed for aesthetics and economic timber growth too, because the bigger trees will actually be used for lumber. We like to keep our material that we use for oil, we like to keep the stem at about 5.5 inches. That way our yields are, productive enough for us, because that most of the oil, what we found, is in the cambium layer, the growing layer of the tree, and the needles. So the cambium layer is the outside growing area, part of the tree. And we found if we keep that stem smaller, we still get the constituents of the stem, but we don't have all that filler. So the other part of the stem will be shipped for lumber after it's limbed off and cut into logs.
What do you mean
by
by
you'll
filler?
see the whole process.
What do you mean by the filler?
It's just the internal wood of the tree doesn't have much oil in it.
Oh.
So when we're cooking it, it dilutes the process.
A lot of
So that our
wood chips versus
so our cooks they don't yield as high per volume of chips.
So why don't you just debark it?
Well, we could, but that's just it's not a productive process, and we don't have equipment to do that
I see.
on a large scale. You'll see tomorrow that it takes a lot of material to make a little bit of oil out from trees.
So when you say aesthetic and versus not lumber?
So basically to the south, you'll see, as I take you guys out there, you'll see where it's managed for aesthetics, which is, we're not letting a lot of little trees grow in that area. It's basically clear under the trees like a park, and the bigger trees can grow better that way. This area here, we're leaving it thick, which is, it's not the best management practice, but for what we're doing, we need smaller trees with a lot of foliage. So that's why we're leaving this area like that. And we keep picking at it as it grows. And it grows pretty fast.
When you say foliage, does it mean leaves or?
Yeah, the
leaves,
branches
right?
and the needles.
branches.
Yeah. Yeah. because that is what we found just by trial and error. That's where most of the oil is, because the trees that we put in there with the more branches and less stem, the higher they yield by proportion every time.
And how old is a tree that's about 5? You said 5.5 inches, right?
Yeah.
How old is a tree that's
It's probably about 10 years old, maybe 8 or 10 years old, depending on how, you know, some species grow faster than other species and how crowded it is. There's a lot of factors, but roughly it takes a long time to grow a tree. But they grow, you know, on their own, and we plant them, but they grow, you know, they fill up all the space if you let them, you know. So we always have lots of trees coming. We plant trees also to get the species we want, but if you cut everything and just cleared it off, and within 5 years, all the trees would be coming back, but they'd be different species, pretty diverse. So everything comes back really fast. I get the question, you know, do you plant a tree every time you cut a tree? And we do plant trees, but that's to get the grand fir species we want. Like in the field, they're all grand fir. That's not how nature grows, you know. Out in this diverse forest here, I can get 10 different species just standing here. I can see close to 10 different species. I got everything on the table from right here, you know.
Would any of the breed cross, like they just change from something to something and they become something else?
What's that?
With the breed cross.
Crossbreed.
No. I mean, people do grafting and stuff with some deciduous trees, but as far as I know, none of these do that.
So they're all pure.
Yeah. Yep. So all this oil that we're going to be making tomorrow is from wild trees that grew on their own, you know. Grand fir grows wild here, so should be fun, and we appreciate you guys. Without you guys, we wouldn't have jobs, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Without you guys,
Yeah. Without you guys, we don't have
Symbiotic,
oils.
right? So if you guys will file over to get your safety gear on, we'll get started, and we'll split off.
Yay, thank you.